Spider-Man's costume is easily one of the most loved yet debatable costume of all time. It's one of the best superhero costumes we have ever seen in our lives. Sometimes this costume would have to be changed, whether if that's the lenses, the logos, the web design, the colors, or just the overall pattern or whatever you can call it. No matter how much this costume changes, fans are still going to love the costumes, no matter how ridiculous or amazing they are. And the movies do a really good job when implementing the costumes from the comics into the big screen. The Sam Raimi movies did an absolutely great job with the raised webbing and the triangular eyes, and with a good color choice with the red and the blue. The Tom Holland Spider-Man costumes did an alright job, but I'm not really a fan of these costumes, but we'll get to that into a later video. But the costumes I'm going to talk about are the Andrew Garfield ones. More specifically, the TASM 1 suit. The TASM 1 suit is by far one of the most controversial suits I've ever seen. Some people absolutely love this costume, yet some absolutely despise it. There's nothing wrong with the TASM 1 suit. As of now, we're going to be explaining this in today's video. Yep, I'm going to explain why the TASM 1 suit isn't actually a bad suit, and why you should love it as well. Oh, and also a quick warning, if I sound like I'm stuttering or if I can't get my words out, it's mainly because I haven't made a script for this. So again, if I sound like I'm stuttering, it's because I haven't made a script for this video. And I'm hoping that I will in the future of this channel. But without further ado, let's just get straight into this video. So the TASM 1 suit is, again, the most controversial suit I've ever seen. The suit first appeared in The Amazing Spider-Man in 2012, and there have been a lot of criticisms about this costume. Starting with the small yellow lenses. Everybody hated these small yellow lenses. And I don't particularly understand why, because the small yellow lenses work perfectly on this costume. People are saying that the overall design looks really terrible with the lack of red on the costume and a lot of blue. And the web design apparently isn't that great and it looks really unfinished. Now, let's just be clear about this, okay? The TASM 1 suit works in this movie. The TASM 1 is a dark and edgy movie, with the atmospheres always at night time, and the costume looking really fierce and scary fits in with the overall dark and eerie city, because it shows you that Peter is angry. He's after Uncle Ben's killer. So by making this costume, it shows us his anger and revenge. Now, the logos, in my opinion, are awesome. I absolutely love it. I love the design of the way how it's all split into individual bits, as it just shows you how scary and, well, pointy it's supposed to be. That didn't even make any sense, but I don't have a script for this, so I'm just making stuff up as I go. Anyway, I like the color designs. I like the color choices, sorry. I like the colors, as they're more darker and more fearsome looking. I don't think that's the right word to use, but oh well. And plus, I like the lack of web design, as it shows you that you don't have to add a lot of webbing to your costume. You can add little or too much to your costume, and that would not matter at all. But I think the one problem as well that people had was the soles, as they were literally, as some people would say, that they're just like the bottom of some sneakers, as the Americans would call it, and people did not like these at all. But what do I think about the overall costume in general? I think this costume is great. It definitely shows you that Peter's upset and angry, and he's after Uncle Ben's killer because he wants revenge. This is a perfect example of what someone could make. This is a costume that any teenage boy or girl could create a costume like this and to show you that it's homemade. Because you wouldn't really see Peter making a costume like this, because there's no way in the movies he will be able to do that, because he doesn't have the money to get some nice fabrics and whatever. So by making this costume, it definitely shows you that Peter had created it, and the reason why it looks unfinished. This costume shows you exactly that Peter had made this, because again it's homemade, and also it fits in with the dark and eerie environments around him. If you don't like this costume at all, then that's fine, okay? You don't have to love a costume because it's Spider-Man. You can hate this costume as much as you want, and that's saying something. But at the end of the day, again, if you don't like the costume, that's completely fine. As long as you have a specific reason as to why you don't like the costume. I am definitely going to make a script for the next video, because that was just terrible. Alright, that's it. Goodbye, subscribe.